shoulders down. Okay, she did it. Okay. So we want our shoulders low on our body. We bring our chin back, and you know that we kind of walk around because we're always on devices with our chin forward. But in this true north alignment, our chin is back, not tucked, just back, so that our ears are in line with our shoulders. And the crown of our head is drawing up towards the ceiling. When you do that, you'll feel your abdominal muscles engage. And that engagement is what we want. So we're going to go through a basic warming up exercise. We're going to start at the top of our body and slowly work down. So we're going to start with our neck. I want you to tuck your chin down. Chin touches your chest. Now look up at the ceiling and look back as far as you can. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look up and back. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. One more time. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Now exhale, dip your left ear to your left shoulder. You want to keep your shoulder down, so you're taking your ear to your shoulder. Look up, inhale. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder, keeping your shoulder down. Inhale, look up. Left ear, left shoulder. Look up. Right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, look up. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. And one more time on each side. Inhale, exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Now we're going to put it all together, kind of like we're going to go around the world. Tuck your chin to chest. Exhale. Come up to the left, keeping that shoulder down. Now look up and back. Right ear, right shoulder. Exhale as you come around. Inhale as you rise up and go back. Really slowly, exaggerating this movement, keeping your shoulders down your back. You really are stretching out the full neck, which sometimes can really get tight. Now, go in the opposite direction. Inhale as you come around and look up. Exhale as you dip your chin. And you might find one side feels a lot different than the other. I find that as I go around to my right, because I'm so right-handed, it feels stiffer. And one more big time around, you're keeping your shoulders down. You're trying to draw that ear to your shoulder. Good. And look up. Lift your shoulders up to your ear. Roll them down your back. Lift your shoulders up to your ear. Roll them down your back. You're making huge circular movements with your shoulders. And you're really rolling it down. Now go in the opposite direction. Rolling this way. Good. Roll it out. And really making your shoulders go as low as possible down your back. You feel this. It should feel kind of good. Now, arms out in a T, and I want you to make big circles with your arms. It doesn't matter which direction. Breathing as you come up, exhaling as you go down. Big, wide, huge circles. Breathing in and out, maybe doing your ujjayi breath, which means you're breathing in and out through your nose, constricting the back of your throat, making you can hear your breath come in and out. Go in the opposite direction with your arms. And you'll feel that one way feels different than the other, which is just fine. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Okay, arms out in a T. Now make little circles with your arms. One way, in and out with that victorious ujjayi breathing, which is that you breathing in and out through your nose, your lips are closed, and you constrict the back of your throat so you can hear your breath come in and out. Now, opposite direction with the arms. Good. Rest your hands back on your knees. Bring your right hand up to the ceiling, straight up, shoulder down, but fingers up. Look up at your thumb and hinge at the waist, bringing that right tricep close to your right ear. You're only going as far as you can. You're just hinging at the waist. So it should feel like a big side body stretch. Now, look back up at that hand and bring that hand back down to your knee. Let's do the same thing on the left. Bring that left hand up. Look up at your thumb. The arm is straight up. And now hinge at the waist. You're just giving a side body stretch. The tricep is resting against your left ear or coming close. Breathe in and out. Really spark your fingers towards that ceiling and come back up. Look up at those sparked fingers and bring your hand down to your knees. Good job. Breathe in and out. Engage your abdominal muscles like you're zipping your favorite pair of pants. You're not sucking your gut in, you're tucking your gut in. Belly button to the spine is another way that we can describe that sensation. It's not a big sensation, it's just an engagement. And that engagement is something that we'll talk more about when we're doing balance, because that brings stability to your lower spine. So if you ever find that you've got lower back pain, try working on that engagement, because that will bring some relief to your lower back, because you'll start using all of these muscles in your belly and abdominal area, of which there are many. So feel that engagement. Bring your hands to your knees. We're going to do some cat-cows. So cow is where your chest comes through, your booty pops up in the back, and your chin goes up. Cat is where you round your back, your pelvis slides forward, kind of a Michael Jackson pelvis, and you're really arching your back and tucking your chin. Inhale into cow, coming through, looking up, popping your booty. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. One more time, really accentuate that movement of your hips. Cat. Excellent. So we've got a little more flexibility of our neck, of our shoulders. Now let's work on our hands. Press your hands out like you're stopping someone. I want you to open and close your fingers, really accentuating the movement. So you're really squeezing in and opening up wide. We're going to do it 30 times. If you find you can't do 30, just do as much as you can. So your arms are straight. Your shoulders are plugged into the shoulder sockets. And we're going to open and close. I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Good. Bring your hands back down to your knees. Let's work on our wrists a little bit. So your fingers are pointing straight ahead, and I want you to bend your elbows as much as you can. And now straighten your elbows, come back. Bend your elbows. We're trying to stretch out our wrists. So you should feel something in your wrist. Come back up. Now I want you to place your fingers on your thighs with your fingertips facing each other, okay? And again, we're going to bend our elbows. And then I want you to go back, maybe even get into that cat kind of position. We're trying to stretch out our wrists. This is not as important in chair yoga. This becomes very important when you're on your mat, because positions like down dog request a lot of your wrists, but it's still good to stretch out your wrists a little bit. Okay, now I want you to take your fingers and try to face your thighs. So now it's an awkward position, but I want you to bend your elbows and now straighten your elbows as much as you can, trying to give your wrist a stretch. If you need to, move a little bit forward on your chair so you can go back into that cat a little bit more. Bend your elbows, exhale. Inhale as you go back into that cat position. Now place your back of your hands on your thighs and bend your elbows. My fingers are facing each other. Exhale, bend. Inhale, sit up tall. Good. Clasp your fingers together, reverse. Bring your arms up overhead. Draw your shoulders down. Now clasp, if you can, in whatever chair arrangement you've got, clasp your hands behind you and draw your shoulders down your back. Good. Good, good, good. Now we're gonna work on our ankles a little bit. So I want you to kick your right foot out. You can see the sole of my foot. Your toes are flexed towards the ceiling. Open your toes up. These are yogi toes. See how wide your toes can get. Good. Roll your ankle around. Roll it. Roll it in the opposite direction. My ankle's clicking. I don't know if you can hear that. Now, you may need to adjust your seat again. Bring that knee, grab that knee, that right knee with both hands and draw it into your chest. Open it up using your right hand. Open that right knee up to the right wall, looking down, keeping your left knee straight ahead. You're still at true north with your left foot and knee. And see if you can circle that hip. Breathing in and out, sitting up tall. The crown of your head is drawing towards the ceiling. So you're still sitting up super tall, not going the opposite direction. And really rotating, revolving that hip around. It's a good hip opener. Good, bring that foot back down to the floor. Now, bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. Take both hands, place those hands on that knee, that right knee, and push it away. Sit up tall, drawing your shoulders down your back, crown of your head up, and push away on breath. Breathe in, exhale, push. Breathe in, exhale, push away. One more breath in, and push away. Good. Bring that foot back down to the floor. We're going to do that same little thing on the left side. And typically in yoga, what you do on one side, you do on the other. And we usually start with the right side, although there's no reason why we wouldn't start with the left side, if that doesn't matter at all. So I want you to kick your left foot out. Now the sole of your foot is facing the wall in front of you. Flex those toes. See how wide your toes can get, yogi toes. And now rotate your ankle around. If you need to hold the back of your thigh, do that. It doesn't really matter how high that leg is. What we're doing here is really just trying to bring some flexibility back into our often neglected ankle. And roll it out and roll it out and roll it out. If you have it reversed ways, reverse ways. And now grasp that left knee with your hands and draw that knee into your chest. Doesn't have to come very far. Sit up tall. Breathe here and out. Breathe in. Now open that knee up to the left wall. You can keep holding with your left hand as you rotate it around. Or maybe you don't want to hold, that's fine. Or maybe you want to hold your thigh. It doesn't matter. What we're doing is we're just trying to bring some flexibility back into that hip joint. The hip joint is really your biggest joint. So, it gets stiff. And a lot of times people say, oh, my lower back is stiff. Well, I've already mentioned that one of the best things, you can switch directions, by the way. One of the best things you can do to relieve your lower back is to make your abs stronger, which we all know. And it's like, oh no, I can't believe she said that. It's like, oh God, those abs. Bring that foot back down to the ground. But if your lower back is tight, chances are your hips are tight. If your hips are tight, chances are your hamstrings are tight because they're all connected. So if we can add some flexibility to our hips, to our hamstrings, maybe that's also going to loosen up your lower back a little bit. Good. So we've gone through and we've woken up various joints. And now we're really going to begin doing a little yoga practice. So we'd like to start our yoga practice with the sound of one Om. Bring your hands to your chest. Maybe you dig your thumb knuckles into the wall of your chest. Close your eyes. We'll begin practice with the sound of one Om. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Good. Blink open your eyes. So I want you to lift your hands up to the ceiling. Look up at your hands and dive down to the floor. Fingertips on the floor, full hand on the floor. That doesn't matter. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs and straighten your back. You're really drawing your body towards the wall in front of you. This is called straight back. Dive down again, fingertips on the floor. Breathe in and inhale to cactus arms. That's like this. So your elbows are parallel with your shoulders and your forearms are stretching up to the ceiling and your fingers are sparking up to the ceiling. Dive down again, fingertips on the floor. Inhale, engage your abdominal muscles and lift up to what we call mountain, seated mountain pose. You're looking up at your fingers. Bring your hands to heart in the prayer pose and breathe in and out. Breathe in, bring your hands back up to the mountain pose. Exhale as you dive to fingertip on floor. Inhale, straight back. Hands on shin, crown of head forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, cactus your arms. Sit up tall, crown of your head is high. Exhale, fold. Inhale up to mountain, look up, spark your fingers up, hands to heart in prayer. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, mountain, spark. Dive down, exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, dive. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, dive. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands to heart prayer. Breathe in and out. So what we've just done is a little flow. And in mat class, it would be chaturanga that we would be doing. And it's the intent of this part of the practice is to warm up our core. So when you're diving and coming up, that's when you engage your abdominal muscles. Rather than try to isolate that and use those muscles to bring your body up. We dive, we come up to cactus, use those muscles. We dive, we come up to mountain with our fingers up, engage your abdominal muscles, and then dive down. So we're doing it on breath, engaging our core muscles, and the intent is to warm ourselves for future stretching, which is always a good idea. Okay, so let's come right back to it. Hands to heart in prayer. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, mountain, look up. Dive down. Fingers on mat, half lift, engage your abdominals. Dive down, exhale. Inhale, cactus. Dive down, exhale. Inhale, mountain, look up. Hands to heart in prayer. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, mountain. Dive down, exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, dive. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, dive. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, hands to heart, prayer. Good job. Bring your hands back to your knees, take a drink of water. If you've lost your breath, or if your breath has gotten ragged at any point, we try to do Ujjayi breathing, breathing through, in and out through our nose throughout the practice. But if you lose your breath, just simply breathe in and go, and try that a few times to regain a steady breath, which is our goal. Our goal is that we're moving on breath and we've got a steady breath throughout the practice. And also drink water. So now I want you to stand up and get your chairs so that I'm actually going to have the seat of my chair facing me. So here we are. I'm going to adjust my screen a little bit. So we got the chair facing us, and let's just talk a little moment about true north now in the standing position. So look down, your toes are facing 12 o'clock. Bring your arches up off the floor. See if you can raise your arch up, and that engages your shin, your inside of your shin. Maybe you bring all your toes up off the mat and drop them down to the floor one at a time. See if you can do that. It takes a lot of control, but there you have it. Your toes are wide. You can feel all four corners of your feet. So you can feel that pad right underneath your big toe. You can feel the pad underneath your pinky toe. Rock back so you can feel your heel, both corners of your heel on the mat. And you're drawing your arches up so you're engaging your shin. There's a little bend to your knee. So you don't never want to lock your knees out because we want to have our muscles doing the work. We don't want to have our bones doing the work. So here we are, we've got a little bend. Our core again, it's like you're zipping up your favorite pants. Your shoulders are right over your hips. Your ears are right next to or over your shoulders. So we're all lined up. Our chin is back. The crown of our head is drawing up to the ceiling. Draw your shoulders up and down your back. So your hands can be in Tadasana, which is palms facing the front of the room, or whatever hand position you like. This is strong true north alignment. So this is the stance. This is your power stance. Every single standing yoga pose starts with this. And if you can get this, you're in a position, you're in good shape. Your pelvis is neutral. So if your booty feels like it's popped, draw it so that your pelvic floor is facing the floor. So everything is lined up. Beautiful. Now, what we're going to do is I want you to grab the seat of your chair, place your feet wherever you need to, bring some bend to your knee, and I want you to draw your shoulders into their shoulder sockets and make a straight back. So the crown of your head is drawing towards now what the wall is in front of you. Your booty is drawing towards the back wall. Your arms have a little bend. Your knees have a little bend. And this should bring relief to your lower back. If you've got lower back pain, this should feel good. Okay, now what I want you to do is bring your right foot up and kick the wall behind you. You're stamping the wall. Your toes are flexed to the floor, but you're really powerfully raising that leg up and stamping the wall behind you. Look at your hips. If your right hip is over or if your right hip is not in line with your left, Make it so that your hips are lined up. You can raise your leg up and down, but your hips want to be lined up. So you're not fanning open your hips yet. You're stamping the wall, your toes are facing down. Now I want you to fan open your hips. Stack your hips, your toes turn to the wall on your right. So now this is also a hip opener. Bring that knee, try to bring it in so it almost comes to your elbow, and kick it back again. Inhale, bring it into your elbow and kick it back. Kind of like you're a dog and there's a fire hydrant. Bring that foot down to the floor. Again, get that straight back. The crown of your head is drawing towards the wall in front of you. You've got some bend to your knees. Your toes are at 12 o'clock. Now bring that left foot up and stamp the wall behind you. Your toes are flexed to the floor. That leg is strong. Your hips are even, parallel with one another. Breathe here. Strong. Now, fan open your hips. So now those toes are facing the left wall. You may feel this significantly in your butt. And now bring that knee into your elbow. See if you can almost get it to reach your elbow and kick it back. Do it again. Inhale, back. Exhale, bring it in. And lower down. Good job. Now we're going to do kind of the reverse. Again, come into that straight back. Make any adjustments that you need to in your feet to make it possible to get that back really straight. And your hands can be flat on your seat of your chair, or you can be grabbing the seat of your chair, it doesn't matter. But use the seat of your chair to plug your shoulder sockets in, bring bend to your knees, and breathe here. Engage your abdominal muscles. Good job. Now bring your right knee and try to touch your right knee to your nose. Draw your foot back down to the floor. Do it again. Try to draw that knee to your nose. Lower down. One more time. Draw that knee to your nose and lower down. Do the same thing with your left knee. Draw it up. Exhale. Lower. Inhale, draw it up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, draw it up, and exhale, lower down. Good. Stand up, take a drink, shake yourself out, whatever you need to do, it's good. Now, let's work on some balance. So move your chair so that you can grab the back of your chair. And let's just talk a moment about balance. So we want to come into that true north alignment. So look down. Where are your toes? Are your knees over your ankles? Or you got some bend to your knee? Are your hips over your knees, shoulders and hips aligned, all that stuff? Because we want to have that engagement when we practice balance. So I will say that many people have a tough time with balance. And Kathy will groan because I say this every single class, but balance is something you can practice and get better at. And there's a huge argument for doing it, because I just read an article the other day about falling in older people. As we age, our balance gets worse and people fall and they end up not getting up. So we really do want to practice balance. And balance is nothing more than getting into this true north alignment, feeling strong in our stance, and bringing one foot up off the floor and holding it. Grab the chair as you need, but just bring your right foot up. It can be off the floor 1 inch, it does not matter. And just find some strength here. And see how long you can hold it. We'll take 3 breaths. And lower down. So now I'm going to give you the big balance trick. So the big balance trick in yoga is called drishti. And that's where we find a point in front of us. So you wouldn't look at me, you find a point in front of you that's not moving. It doesn't matter what it is. and you gaze at it. And in fact, your gaze melts into that point. So the more you practice balance, the more you'll realize that this drishti, this gaze at that thing that's not moving, it's almost like a meditation. So we find all of the strength in our stance, and then that gaze and breath, those are things that can aid tremendously in balance. So I want you to find that point that's straight ahead of you, that's not moving. Pick it and gaze at it. Draw your shoulders down your back and lift your left foot up off the mat or floor and hold for 3 breaths, using the back of your chair as you need to. And lower down. So that what we just did there, that's something you can practice every day when you're brushing your teeth, when you're at your sink, when you're online at the wherever grocery store. You can, nobody will notice, simply lift one foot up off the floor, find something to look at, find that strong, straight stance, and just practice. You'll find it will be easier if you have trouble balance. You'll find it's easier with shoes on. Shoes provide that extra support. Go for it. Do it with shoes on until you get to the point where you can practice barefoot. So do whatever you need to make your way into balance. And every balance pose is nothing more. We're bipeds. It's nothing more than bringing a foot off the mat. But there's all different shapes that we get into when we're doing this balance, which we'll do now. We'll come into probably the most basic balance is called tree. So tree is, there's 3 ways you can do it. One is where your toe is on the floor and your heel is against right above your ankle bone. So my right toe is on the floor. My right knee is drawing towards the wall on the right, and my, like I said, my heel is right above my ankle bone. This is tree. You bring your hands to heart in prayer. You can bring your hands up overhead. Whatever hand shape works for you is good. But in truth, this is not actually a balance, but it's getting us there. It's a hip opener. We're opening our hip, our knee to the wall on the right. So there is some activity here. It's not like it's worthless, it's good. The second shape is bringing your foot to the inside of your shin and opening up to the right wall, using the chair as you need to balance. Letting go for a moment, grabbing back, whatever it takes. So this is position number 2. Position number 3 is where you're bringing your foot up into your thigh. Now, if you've never done yoga, you don't have to do this one. What we don't want though, and the reason why I show all 3, I don't want you to put your foot on your knee. That's the one area that we don't want you to put your foot. So choose your medicine here. Kickstand, shin, up and thigh, knee drawing to the right wall, and see how long you can go without holding the back of your chair. Maybe it's 1 second. Find that drishti point. Breathe into it. Stand up tall. And wherever your right foot is, have a lot of engagement with your left leg. So you're really pressing that right foot into your left leg. And you're trying to open that knee up to the right wall and breathe. Drishti and breath. 2 more breaths. And lower down. Good job. So we're gonna do tree on the other side, so you might wanna shift, either move yourself around or move your chair, so you've got something to hold on to. And whatever you did on the other side, try it on this side. If your body is like most humans, you'll find one side feels different than the other. So that doesn't matter. So if you were a kickstand, go with kickstand. If you were on shin, go with shin. Unlock the standing knee, that's important, and find your way up into the chair of your choice, using the back of your chair to hold yourself steady. Find drishti, find breath, and hold. Three more breaths. And lower down. Good job. Take a seat. Find your way back to your chair. Get back into the seated true north alignment. And relax, hands on knees. I have to say that I know that tree there's so many different balance positions we can get into, and we'll practice more. Tree is probably the best known or maybe the most done. For me, it's the most difficult one. I don't know why, but I can fall out all the time. And what you'll learn with yoga is it doesn't matter. You just come back into it. They call it yoga practice for a reason. It's nothing more than a practice. We're just practicing. And it can be playful, it can be fun. It just doesn't matter. And we're all friends. So we're going to close with doing a warrior stance on the chair. And we're going to be in warrior 2. We're going to go into reverse warrior and then side angle. So it's a little vinyasa, a little flow. So what I want you to do is I want you to move your right knee so it's now on the side of your chair. Your right knee is facing the wall on the right. Your foot is right underneath your knee. Your knee is right on top of your ankle. And then I want you to, and it may not be totally graceful, but I want you to get your left leg behind you. So my chair's kind of high, but I want your pelvic floor to be on your chair. Your left leg is behind you. It can be bent. You can be on your toes, or you can be on the inside of your left foot, right? Or at least for me in this chair, that's how it's going to be. Everybody's chair is a little bit different. Everybody's legs are a little different. So, but this is basically, you've got your right knee going to the right and you've got your left leg behind you, okay? So here we are. If this is super uncomfortable, don't do it. Because like I said, everybody's body and everybody's chair is a little different. But if you can do it, go for it. And this might feel like a lot. This might feel like a big stretch for you. But if you can, open your arms out. So we've got arms reaching in opposite directions. Your shoulders are parallel with one another. Your arms are strong and your fingers are strong. Look over your right forefinger. So now your gaze is at the wall on the right. Breathe into this. Bring your shoulders up and down. So you want your shoulders down your back. Breathe in and out. Now we're going to do reverse. So bring that right arm and hand up. Spark your fingers up to the ceiling and draw your left hand down your left thigh. So your arm is straight up and your left hand is going down, aiming towards your foot. Of course, it's not going to make it. Mine's barely making it to my inside of my knee. Look up at that hand. Look up at that forefinger. Draw your breath in and out. Now come down and lightly place that right forearm, palm up on that right thigh. And now bring your left arm up overhead. This is called side angle. You're lightly placing, you're not leaning into that forearm on the thigh, but you can look up at that left hand now, and then you draw that tricep close. That left tricep is now grazing your left ear. Your head is drawing towards the ceiling, and your fingers are kind of going in the same direction. You should feel this is a big side body stretch. Don't dump into that arm. It's lightly there. Breathe into this, breathe in and out. Another breath in and out, and good, come out of it. And slowly make your way so your knees are at 12 o'clock. Roll your shoulders up and down your back. Hopefully you feel that. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So start to shift around. Now your left knee is facing the left wall. You're going to get it so that your right leg is behind you. I'm on the inside blade edge of my right foot, and I'm making some adjustments. My pelvic floor is neutral. It's straight down on the chair, and I'm taking some breath. Now I'm bringing my arms up, parallel. My arms are parallel with one another. You can kind of feel it when it's not, like if you're tipping, you can kind of feel that. So make it parallel. Draw your shoulders up and down the back, right? Look over your forefinger, your left forefinger, look at that. And breathe, gaze and breathe. Now reverse. So now your right hand is going down your right leg and your left hand goes up. Look up at that forefinger. Breathe. Now place that forearm lightly. Your left forearm is now light on your left thigh, palm up, and bring your right arm up overhead. Now look up at that forefinger. See if you can kind of get into you want to try to stack your shoulders. You can't quite get there. And then draw that arm up overhead so your right tricep is grazing your right ear and you're reaching for the ceiling. And the crown of your head is going in the same direction, and breathe here. See if you're dumping. If you bring that forearm up off your thigh, so you're just lightly laying it there. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out, and come out of it. Good job. Good job. True north. Remove any flesh from your sit bones. And a couple rounds of cat-cow. So cow, draw your chest through, look up, draw your shoulders down, round your back, exhale into cat. Cow, look up, and cat, exhale and round. Keep your eyes closed. Draw the crown of your head up. Bring your hands to your heart in prayer. Your thumb knuckles into your chest wall. Breathe in and out. We'll end practice with the way we began, with the sound of one Om. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Bring your thumb knuckles to your forehead. Look up. The light in me honors the light in you. Together we bow and say, Namaste, Namaste. Good.